I get very angry when I hear people say about privilege, and that's the really rich. My son went to private school. Me and my husband, we worked our backsides off, and we're still working, and we're in our 60s. We remortgaged the house. I've worked, and I've had 2 jobs as well, just to try and fund, because I wanted my son to have a better education. The state schools, you've got 40 people in a class. I know that if he goes to a private school, he would probably have maybe 15. He gets certainly a better attention. So as far as privilege, it's absolutely ridiculous because, like I said, we're still, we're going to be working probably till we're pensionable and beyond to pay, and we're still paying for it. I don't regret a penny of it, but it's not the privilege. It's what we're working class. And, we've worked jolly hard to actually put our son through his education. So when I hear these people about privilege and you get, you sort of beat the interview system, you don't. My son has had to interview after interview after interview. He didn't get special privilege because his CV said he went to Norwich School. So I just think it's so
But how
bad.
is it fair, Jill? I completely accept your right to choose. You should have the right to choose. If you want to spend your money in that way and work very hard to have to do so, that is your right. But how is it, can you explain to someone how it's fair that you get to buy for your child a smaller class size, greater opportunity, better
if you work
tools
hard,
to use?
If somebody is prepared to work hard and get off their backside and work hard, even if you have
So
2
it's
or 3 or 4 jobs, if you are determined and if you want the best for your child, you will do anything and you will work 24/7 to make that happen.
Jill,
we're not
Jill,
all ladies that have lunch.
No, I understand
We're not all ladies that go down to the tennis club. We're hard-working people who run old beaten-up cars. Everyone says, their 4x4 would go into the car park. I barely got my car to school half the time. So it's not a privileged life.
Okay,
it's
Jill,
very
just hang on the line because I suspect that people are going to hear your point and maybe perhaps take it in a way that you, I don't know, don't mean it. That you're basically saying it's laziness that is stopping other people sending their kids to private school.
Not saying it's lazy.
Right.
I'm saying if you want something.
Hang on the line, Jill. Let me bring in Joe, who's in Wimbledon. Hi, Joe.
Hi, good evening.
What do you make of Jill's points here? She's working damn hard to send her son to private school. It's not a privilege. She's not Chelsea tractoring around town going to yachting club. She's doing a lot of work to put her son through private school.
No, I think what Jill does with her money is her own business. However, when it's all the platitudes like I work really hard, people are lazy, they should get off their you-know-whats and do 4 jobs.
I didn't say they were lazy. I'm saying if you want something...
You did say that,
I didn't say they were lazy.
You did say that, Jill.
You can actually,
you said
if you want to, you can go and get 2 or 3 or maybe 4 jobs. I did not use the word lazy.
Jill, just let Joe make her point.
Anyway, basically, it's all the platitudes. I work really hard. So they're saying, we're not rich, but I just work really hard. To send one child to school... Well, hang on. To send one child to school, which roughly what the fees are, it's about 25, 26 grand. So they are paying to send one child to school more than the average person earns a year. As I say, it's up to them what they do with their money. But to sort of come out with, we're not rich and we're not privileged and we work really hard. The road sweeper works really hard. It's just not an option for some people. And also, all of the tutoring that you need to pay for in order for your child to pass those exams. I'm sure Jill's going to say, my child hasn't had an hour's tutoring,
Well, let's ask her. Jill, are you?
A lot of people do.
Jill?
My son went to nursery school. He went through the ordinary examination to get through, and he passed. And
right, so no tutoring whatsoever?
Not at all.
No.
He went to normal nursery school.
I have to say, this does feel a bit weird, Joe. Having started the call... Hang on a sec, Joe. Having started your call saying whatever way Jill spends her money is absolutely fine by me, and now interrogating where every penny seems to have gone on her child's education. It's up to her.
I'm just saying, I have said that, but I'm just saying, people very, very rarely ever see their own privilege, much less admit to it. The road sweeper works hard. He hardly earns anything. It's not even an option for somebody like that to say. There are bursaries available in some of these schools, and they're making them more available now because they've got to justify their charitable status.
Do you think private schools fundamentally are unjustifiable?
I think life is unjustifiable. It's not a fair world, is it?
Right.
Come on, it's not a fair world. It's not a level playing field. If
not a fair
Jill wants to spend her money like that, it's her own business.
Jill?
I'm just saying, no, it's not a fair world, but I think it's unfair for people who send their children to state schools to slate the people who send their children to private schools.
Nobody's slating anybody.
Nobody's
slating anybody.
We would slate anyone who would go to a state school. That's their prerogative. That's what they want to do with their child. That's absolutely fine.
It's not necessarily what they want to do. It's just that they can't
We don't
afford
put the state school mums and dads on some kind of pedestal, the same as what you would put a private person on a pedestal, which I think is totally wrong. Because, like I said, we're not privileged. We're certainly not privileged.
You are privileged because only 7% of children get to go to private schools. So by deed of that statistic, you are privileged. So,
I think that's inarguable, isn't it, Jill? You are buying your son
you're buying an advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what I've done is we extended our mortgage. So we were lucky enough to do that. So we're still paying a mortgage. I'm 62, and I've still got 3 or 4 years to pay on the mortgage.
Jill,
that could have been paid off when I was 50 if I hadn't sent him. But it was my decision and my husband's decision that we did that. And yes, we knew that we would have to continue to work.
I come from the Alan Partridge school of thought on this one, which is you don't mess around when it comes to your own kids. And Jill, if you want to work that hard and spend that money in that way, it's an option available to you because you think it's going to purchase an asset for your child. That's your right as that boy's parent. And I don't think anybody should be stripping you of that ability to have that right, even though very few actually do.